So from Benfica, the most successful team in Portuguese football history, to FC Porto, the second most successful team in that same country. 78 major trophies they have won. And, like their rivals Benfica, 2 Champions League wins as well. This is a team with a storied and a growing history. A team that has featured legends like João Pinto, hardman defenders like Couto, Pepe and Carvalho, dynamic midfielders like Deco, Maniche and Football Manager favourite Freddie Guarin, forwards with power and prowess such as Jardel, Hulk and Mickey Walsh. Even their past managers have made their mark with Mourinho and Villas-Boas in recent years. And this is the team we face today, as Santa Clara look to get their first win against one of the big 3. Yes, hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, bringing you episode 4 in this first season of Breaking the Big 3. We're with Santa Clara in Portugal, a team from the Azores Islands, and we are trying to break that dominance of Porto, Benfica and Sporting Lisbon in the Portuguese League, establish a new dominant force and maybe have a crack at Europe as well. Well, as you can see from the table over here, we're still in with a shout of that European dream. We're currently 5th in the league. Now, there's quite a gap you can see there from us to 4th, which is Benfica. Benfica and Porto have games in hand on us as well, but we're in quite a tight battle for 5th spot. We're currently tied with Vitória de Guimarães. We're just ahead of Nacional, although we have a game in hand there, and we've got Portimonense, and one of the big 3 is back there, Sporting Lisbon, although they do have that game in hand as well. So in the last episode, you will have witnessed that semi-final in the League Cup at the neutral venue of Benfica Stadium, where Benfica beat us 1-0. We didn't deserve to win, but, at least we kept the scoreline respectable. What wasn't respectable was our next league game when we went to Farense, down in the relegation zone. They beat us 4-2. To make matters worse, we had the lead twice. Santana scored early on, they equalised. He scored on 34 minutes. They equalised right on half-time and then got 2 goals in the second half. Then we had a home defeat to Moreirense. Now, they are 2nd in the league at the moment, but it wasn't a great game from us. We went behind very early on. We gave away a stupid penalty, and then we did manage to pull one back, but in the second half we were throwing everything at them, but they hit us on the break late on. Now, I'll talk you through this in a moment, but then I thought we needed to change up the tactics a bit. When we were scoring goals, we were getting too exposed at the back. When we were tight at the back, we weren't scoring enough goals. So I changed things up a bit. I went for some variation of a 4-4-2, and it worked. Away to Pajos de Ferreira. We took the lead. We did then go 2-1 down, but we bounced back in the second half. Igor Casio, who we signed from Porto in the summer, getting his first league goals for the club. Carlos Jr., Anderson, Carvalho sealing the win. We then stuck with the same formation the following week away to Rio Ave. And again, Casio got on the score sheet. They equalised, but again we got the win, and this was a match that we actually won quite comfortably. So what is this tactic? Well, it's a 4-4-2 basically, just with Carlos Jr. pushed up a bit more. Now, if you've been viewing my channel over the last year or so, this might look familiar because this is very similar to the shape I adopted as manager of the Andorra national team in the Andorra save last year, where 4-4-2 I thought was the most sensible thing, but we had a left winger who couldn't play left midfield. Carlos Jr. could play left midfield, but he's just so effective as the inside forward. I want to keep that threat. Then we've got Santana and Casio working together up front, so 2 up top. This seems to be bringing us some more goals. One weak area for us a little bit is right midfield. We've had to put Costina out there. He's the best option we've got, so this is something we might look to build on in the transfer market in the summer if we want to stick with this tactic. And then we've got a back 4 with Mansur as an attacking fullback with the instruction to overlap on Carlos Jr. The instructions are quite simple. We're trying to make sure that, we play cautiously in defence, but we're able to counter-attack as well. Porto, of course, one of the big teams in the Portuguese league. We're playing them at home, which, gives us a slight edge. Any edge we can get, we will take it. Another thing about Porto, though, is obviously they're a team that's doing well out on the pitch. They're winning lots of games. They're getting far in a lot of competitions. 3 days ago, they played Benfica in the semi-finals of the Portuguese Cup. In 3 days' time, they will play Juventus in the Champions League. We didn't have a midweek game because we're out of the Cup. We don't have a midweek game coming up because we're not in Europe. So I'm going with my strongest team. I'm hoping that they're either resting a few key players like Felipe Anderson. When we played them in the league before, he just tore through our defence. Or maybe they're playing some first-teamers who are feeling it a bit. They're having a tough run of matches, so hopefully we can take advantage of that. Okay, good sign. Carlos Jr. is already motivated without me having said a word. We're going to pump our fists. We're going to go with, we've got nothing to lose. Let's show everyone what we're capable of. Okay, didn't have the effect I was looking for, but I'll add in this kind of big game. I think this is the time when you can tell them that you've got faith. You know they can make a difference, and it's done the trick. We've motivated a lot more of the team now. So you can see our recent form, 3 defeats, but we've picked up 2 wins recently, so we're coming into this on a little bit of a high. Porto, meanwhile, they've won 4 out of their last 5. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but, this is the kind of game that we've got to start winning in the future if we are to become one of those big 3. Now you'll notice Braga, Moreirense, they're occupying the top 2 positions, but don't forget Porto and Benfica have games in hand on them. I would not be surprised if it's one of those 2 teams that's championed come the end of the season. All right, here we go. Free kick for us. Costina whips that one in. We pick it up though. Ramos, nicely done, sir. Mansur as well. Let's see if we can get this back into the box. Come on. Let's play it through the middle. There we go. Cassio, Costina, back to Rashid. We're keeping the ball nicely. Rashid, though, just as I say that, he gets tackled, dispossessed, and now Porto streaming forward. They've got a man out wide. Manafa, is he going to get the cross in? No, Mansur with a crunching tackle. I don't think, now come on, the VAR review, I think, has got to be no penalty. That looked to me like a clean tackle, a rough tackle, but a clean one. What's the decision going to be, ref? It's no penalty. There we go. I knew it. Just saw at the bottom there that Sergio Conceição, I remember him from past World Cups berating his players, but you can see why. They haven't created anything yet. We've had 2 shots on target. We've also picked up 2 bookings quite early on, but that's the way we like to play this game. Okay, here we go. Throw in. Can we keep this ball? Please don't give it away to Porto. Good. We've got a good bit of short passing going on again here. Cassio's come deep. Good. Plays in Costina. Cuts inside Santana. We need to get into the box, though. We've got too many players hanging around on the edge of the box. Oh, it's played through to Santana. Santana has scored. Beautiful. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Beautiful defence-splitting through ball there from Rashid, I think it was. All that lovely interplay. Santana plays it back to Rashid. He knows exactly what he's going to do. Oh, straight off the training ground, that one. We've took the lead against Porto. Come on, boys. Let's see if we can hold on to this. Perfect time to score. It's always the perfect time to score. Oh, another highlight. Are we going to add a second one here? Who knows? Rashid coming forward. He keeps it, though. Misplaced pass, but he keeps it. Santana gets played through by Cassio. Oh, Porto survive, but the clearance is picked up by Ramos. Ramos is going to get the cross in, is he? Come on, Ramos. Falls to Costina. Costina gets behind his man. Oh, Santana had a free header. He was probably just a bit too close to the goal, but I hope we don't come to regret that by the time the final whistle's blown. Here come Porto looking to get back into this. They'll be pushing for a goal now, trying to get level before half-time. Come on, let's win this back off them. This is the most threatening Porto have looked so far in this half. We deal with it though, and it comes out to Cassio. He tried to play it wide, but he did not spot Diaz coming back. Diaz has run all the way into the box. Luckily for us, he got a bit greedy and shoots wide. Alright, so we made it to half-time with our lead intact. We're dominating on the XG. Obviously, that was the goal there. Best chance of the half, but we had a couple of other good chances too. Porto, not so much. I think that what I commented on before the match rings true in that they've had a couple of tough games. They've got another tough game coming up against Juventus. I think they're holding back a little bit. You see, we've been able to push forward and keep quite a high line. Now, we were trying to do this against Benfica, but they were pushing us back a lot. Porto is sitting quite deep. So, we're taking advantage of that at the moment. Well, I'm happy with your performance so far. That's the only thing I think worth choosing. Everyone's inspired and motivated. Let's hope we don't just get hit with a sucker punch as soon as we come back out. But here it comes. Here it comes. Porto trying to get back on the score sheet early, but we've got a break now. Santana, he's got Cassio ahead of him. He plays him in. Cassio, he's going to have to cross. He just took a touch too many, and Costina has scored. What a fantastic run. He does a little roll around on the floor. Well, fantastic. Look at that. Santana played it. I thought Cassio was going to shoot there, but I thought we'd lost the chance. But look at that. He took two defenders with him, played it back to Costina, completely unmarked, right in the middle of the penalty box. Wow. We are really taking it to Porto today. Right, Carlos Jr.'s picked up a knock, a potential thigh injury. That doesn't sound too good now, does it? So we'll just do a like-for-like sub. Kryzan is going to come and play in that left midfield role. Also, Cardoso's picked up a yellow. He's on a pretty low rating, a 6.4, so we're going to bring on Afonso in place of him. I didn't mention this before, but we also signed this defender. If you remember, Iago Fernando. Had a little bit of an issue with him. He's unhappy that I broke my promise to strengthen the midfield, but the thing is, he joined us in mid-January, and then 12 days later, the transfer window closed. You'd think they'd give you longer to fulfill that promise, by the start of next season. Anyway, let's give our team talk here. We're going to pump our fists. We've got faith in you guys. Come on. Neither of these, they've been bit part players coming on as substitutions, getting the odd rotation game here and there, but neither of them have really stood out to date, so let's see if they can do something today. Dearie me, apart from the goalkeeper, no one in the Porto team is above a 6.5. Well, Felipe Anderson's come on as a sub. He's just got a 6.7. But, they're really playing poorly today. I like to think it's my tactics. Maybe it's just their tough run. Maybe it's their tactics. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. All right, here come Porto again. We're starting to see a lot more from them in this second half. This is dangerous time because if they score now, which they have, then they're going to pile on the pressure for the final 15 minutes. Oh, that was a shot from range. I mean, we were doing our best to clear it, but Fabio Vieira, he was pretty much unmarked, but still from a good 25 yards out. Top corner. Fine strike. All right, we'll just bring on Lucas for Mansour as well. Just fresh legs in that left-back position. Always a tricky call here. Do we try to tighten up, go more defensive, but then risk inviting them onto us too much? Or do we just stick with what has worked for us so far and hope that we can hold on? Well, I've stuck with what's worked for us so far, but it's Porto again with the chance. They got the corner there, the shot was blocked, but do we get a break here? Kryzan picks up the clearance. Come on, boy. He's running. Is he going to get the cross in? No, I think he got pulled back by Felipe Anderson. Nothing comes of that. Booking is all, so I guess that was more about the chance for Porto than anything else. Anyway, let's look at another substitution. They're telling me to take off Osama Rashid. He's only on a 6.5, which is a surprise because he set up that first goal with a beautiful assist. But okay, we'll bring on Cicero. Cicero's nowhere near as good, of course, but if he's the only option, that's what we'll have to go with. I mean, I could bring on Gure for Costina, but Costina's having a good game. His condition hasn't dropped that much, so we'll leave him where he is. That'll do, just because I can make 5 substitutions. It doesn't mean that I have to. Cicero was a January signing, signed as a bit of backup, one for the future. Just realised when I looked at the Team Talk options that this is his debut. What a way to make your debut. Coming on the last 5 minutes as we're desperately trying to hold on to a win against Porto, and it's like, you go marshal the midfield. Well, 6 minutes of injury time. We've got 3 of them left. I'm hoping for no highlights. Oh, something's happened here. We've got an injury to Igor Cassio, foot injury late on, so we're going to have to make that final substitution after all. So we'll bring on Mesquita. He can play up front. Oh, I cannot make any more substitutions. All right then, well, we'll just pull Santana over to the middle. And let's just swap him over. Well, okay, we'll leave him there as the deep line forward. And let's confirm those changes. We're going to play this out final 2 minutes with 10 men. Again, I'm not going to drop back because, I just think then we'll throw it away. Oh, we've got 97 minutes now. Come on, referee. He's being pressured by the Porto team, I think, to keep this going. Finally, on 97 minutes, 30 seconds, he ends the game. Wow. Our first victory against one of the big 3. And you've got to say, looking at the match stats, looking at the XG, that was a deserved win. That was a deserved win. We kicked a few lumps out of them as well. So I'm very happy with that. Outstretched arms. That was really special, boys. Everyone's inspired and motivated. We've won 3 in a row now, and we are in the hunt for one of those European spots. Okay, we end on a bit of a downer. Despite the victory, Igor Cassio out for 4 to 5 weeks. And that's just as we've got this 2-striker formation going, which has been bringing the goals and the victories for us. Well, we'll have to look at what other options we've got for playing up front. But, we get it over on Porto. Igor Cassio, of course, playing against his former club. Sergio Conceição thinks they should have had that penalty. I don't. Well, luckily, Carlos Jr. just turned out to be a tight hamstring rather than anything more serious, so he's only out for a couple of days. And this is how the table looks now. It's a little bit all over the place because we've got a team like Benfica having only played 17 games. And then we've got quite a few teams who've already played 21. But we're now 6 points off that top 4. But, of course, Benfica have played 3 games less than us. Porto, 2 games less. Vitória de Guimarães, 3 points back, but with a game in hand. So, if they win that opens up quite a gap between 6th and 7th. So, I think we've got 14 games to go. I think we've got a target now finishing in the top 6. And as you should now be able to see, just up there, top 6 means European qualification. So 5th gets us into the Europa Conference League playoff. 6th gets us into the qualifying rounds for that competition. 4th, which I don't think is achievable, goes straight into the Europa League group stage. So that's what we like to see after a run of red circles. We've got the green dots in there now. So big game coming up next, actually. Vitória de Guimarães, the team just behind us in the league. So if we can win that, we're going to be well on our way. But then we've got a tough run, Benfica and Braga. Braga, you may remember I mentioned in a previous episode, the game just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. It got pushed back again. It was like 4 days before we were due to play them. It was announced that they'd been drawn in a later round of the Portuguese Cup. So that's been put off again. We've still got to play them twice, actually. So I'm going to now try and get through a big run of games. And I'm targeting Sporting Lisbon as the next match. So we've got a nice mini trilogy. We haven't done Benfica in the previous episode, Porto in this one, and then Sporting Lisbon in the next one. Then obviously we're going to be very close to the end of the season, so we may then do one more episode after that if these games prove to be crucial. in grabbing a European place, or maybe after the Sporting game we'll just skip straight to an end-of-season review. But, well, gotta be pleased with that victory today. I think, not only did we win and get the 3 points, but I think we outplayed them. We deserved it as well. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I'll see you again soon.